Okay.
Oh, we're ready.
Yeah. Well, as soon as Brendan sits down. Welcome, everyone. We're calling our January 2023 Board of Education meeting to order. Will you all stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all, and again, welcome. It's not as nice as it was yesterday, but glad you all came. Item 3.03 is our superintendent summary, so I'm going to turn it over to.
Thank you, Dr. Towers. Good evening, everybody. It's not as nice as it was yesterday, but it was 40 degrees and raining, not 20 degrees and snowing. I'm probably the only one that cares about that as much as I do, but we're glad you're with us tonight, either here in person or online, so thank you for joining us. I just hope everyone, again, had a wonderful holiday season, a great winter break, and Happy New Year to everybody. It is 2023. Speaking of that, we're right in the middle of our winter season, so just be cautious of, I'm not going to read the whole statement to you, but just be cautious of the fact that obviously that there are viruses and upper respiratory illnesses and things still going on, and we just got to be very careful what that looks like. Everybody has the opportunity to wear a mask if they like to, and we're still having our regular protocols that we're using, and obviously if you're feeling ill, please stay at home. And we're going to get through this thing together. And I want to thank the board for all their leadership through everything that we've done with, shouldn't even say the C word, but COVID. Just want to make sure that we're optimistically cautious because there's still a lot of illness out there. How about this winter season? We're in full swing. Winter sports teams, activities are going strong. If you like wrestling, and I know there's at least one person on this in this group loves wrestling. And we have two great wrestling programs at High and West, girls and boys. We have the most girls signed up in wrestling, actively wrestling at West than we ever have. Obviously, High's had a fantastic girls program now for a little while now, but both programs are strong. They both have tournaments this weekend, hosted at both sites, so there's a lot of wrestling to get to see. And then basketball, how about those Pirates? Those Pirates are 11-2, I think, or 12-2. And they play in the, I have notes here to talk about, Coach Foster doesn't want me to talk a whole lot about it because I get too geeked out about it. And he's like, no, just keep it, but they're playing well and they're really good. And they play tomorrow night in Washington, about 8:30 at night against Borgia. It's a Washington tournament for the championship, and it's gonna be a great game because Borgia's 15-0. And that's almost like a home game from Borgia. So it's gonna be a great atmosphere and a great experience for our kids because we expect a district championship game and hopefully, a run in the state. They're pretty good, pretty tough, so that's cool. Be on the lookout for the next podcast. And then we do have our Board of Education seats open. Once again, we have 3 board seats open, and we have 5 highly qualified candidates for that. So we're excited about what that looks like later on this spring. And in this, I should say, knock on wood, short meeting, we have, right? We like short meetings.
Yes, we like short meetings.
We have a policy change for second reading. We have a transportation program review that's going to be razzle-dazzle, but short and sweet. And then we do have a district financial report. So just want to encourage us to continue to work together, stay strong. We're looking forward. I know winter months can get a little gloomy, but it's 2023, and our saying this year is the word great, and I feel like 2023 is going to be even greater for us. So thank you.
Thank you. I think it'll be a great year. It's been great so far, so let's keep that up. Item 3.05 is audience comments, and Heidi, if you'll read that.
Board communication, but we don't have any, sorry, board communication.
Oh, I skipped that one. Did we have any board communication? I knew I'd do that. I was so concentrating on not forgetting.
It's really okay. I will read. All regular and special meetings of the board shall be open to the public. Since the board desires to be a good listener and be responsive to the community, persons desiring to address the board may do so during the time so allotted on the agenda and according to established procedures. During the audience portion of each board meeting, patrons are invited by the president to speak for or against any proposal on the tentative agenda or on any other school concern. The individual is asked to identify him or herself, limit comments to a few minutes, and avoid discussing personalities. The president reserves the right to limit the number of presentations and/or length of comments. At the discretion of the president, patrons may be recognized at other times during the board meeting. The board is very interested in audience comments. According to board policy, members cannot respond during the actual meeting. The board will listen to and research all audience comments. If necessary, additional follow-up will occur through district administrators.
Thank you. We do have several audience comment cards. Myron Sheets. Welcome. Oh,
Turn that on for you, sorry.
there you go.
There you
I'm sort of a boomer. You could hear me anyway, probably. Okay. It's a pleasure to appear before the St. Charles Board of Education. My name is Myron Sheets. My wife Mary and I have resided in and paid taxes to the St. Charles School District since 1974. We raised two sons who both attended St. Charles Public Schools from kindergarten through high school graduation. Thank you for the opportunity to share an exciting endeavor that is being initiated by several citizens in our community. I'm here tonight to announce the formation of a political action committee called St. Charles County Families for Public Schools. Our group is composed of Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Liberals, Moderates, and Conservatives who recognize the vital role that public education plays in the strength of our communities and the quality of life we enjoy in St. Charles County. We believe that public education brings our communities together. The organization is originated by two former superintendents from St. Charles County, Dr. Mary Hendricks Harris and Dr. Pam Sloan, as well as former state senator and circuit judge Ted House. As we build this grassroots movement, we plan to raise money and to support various candidates for school board elections who are committed to public education, as well as to engage in appropriate elections that improve revenue and resources for our local school districts. We are families who want to mobilize the vast majority of St. Charles Countyans who respect and appreciate our teachers and who want to support public school staff and administrators who unselfishly give of themselves to achieve the educational excellence we have come to expect. And most of all, we're committed to the students of our school districts, seeking to help provide the support needed as you provide hope and a bright future for our children and our community. We support the provision of the Missouri Constitution, which reminds us that knowledge and intelligence are essential to the preservation of the rights and liberties of the people. Public education is the foundation of democracy, and in particularly, we strongly believe that public funds, tax incentives should be used for public schools. We invite everyone to explore our website at www.sccffps.org. So that's St. Charles County Families for Public Schools. We are grateful for your service to the people of our school district. We know that it can be a thankless job, but we also know the indispensable role you play and the critical value of public education to our community and to our nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy Alstorf.
Good evening, I'm Kathy Alstorf, co-president of SCSD, the St. Charles Educational Support Staff Committee. I just want to say once again, thank you very much for those 2 extra days at the holidays. Much needed by staff and our students. I just want to mention that our union will be meeting with Dr. Lewis on January 26th and February 23rd. We are going to review, update our classified job descriptions. So we just wanted you to be aware of what was coming up. Thank you.
Thank you. Lauren Mertz.
Good evening, I'm Lauren Mertz. I'm a teacher at Lincoln Elementary and the local president of our Missouri State Teachers Association chapter. And tonight I have just some celebrations I'd like to share with you. This fall, we had 11 MSTA members receive grants from our regional MSTA chapter, and I wanted to tell you just a little bit about how some of those teachers are impacting the students in their classrooms with these funds. So Miss US at St. Charles High School is a teacher of English language learners, and she is purchasing print newspapers written especially for ELL English language learners. And these newspapers contain current events, information about living in the United States, monthly events and holidays, and some other fun activities for the students. There's a page of vocabulary words that they use in stories on the back of each newspaper. She said, "It's an engaging way to help students improve their reading comprehension, vocabulary, and learn more about U.S. culture and living in the United States." Scott Humphreys, the fourth grade teacher at Lincoln, has been using his funds for room transformations. One transformation he's done is he's set up his room and the other fourth grade room as restaurants where the kids can taste books of other genres and to buzz about new reading books that they're reading. Also, he's setting up his classroom as a wax museum when they finish up their unit on the Revolutionary War, where the students dress up as, they've studied characters, they dress up as characters, and the whole school goes through, and we all learn a lot about the Revolutionary War. Stephanie Lake from St. Charles West reported that she's buying some more whiteboards. Her students in her math classes enjoy using those because then they feel free to make mistakes, and you can erase them on the whiteboards, it's not on paper. And she's also buying some more graphing calculators, And she said, "It's helpful for students who are unable to purchase a calculator when they need to check one out for homework or when they're taking the ACT or SAT test." Some more things. Stacy Lavalley from ECC has purchased some individual sensory boxes. She said she's able to address individual sensory needs of her students, helps them regulate their body and mind, and be ready to work throughout the day. Megan Purcell, a fifth grade teacher at Jefferson, said, "Since COVID, we've noticed kids need more structured support to build friendships with their peers." So she used her mini grant money to buy board games, marble runs, and chain reaction dominoes for her kids to use in the morning before school starts. And she said she's already seen her students building stronger relationships. We have more, and we'll tell you about those next time. Thank you.
It's exciting. Thanks, Lauren. Brendan Kearns.
Good evening. My name is Brendan Kearns. I'm the president of the St. Charles Education Association, the exclusive bargaining organization for certified employees. SCEA hopes everyone in our community had a joyful, safe, and restful holiday. Our members are working hard to get their students to finish the semester strong while preparing for the upcoming term. SCSD is once again featured in Missouri NEA's Something Better magazine. An article on early childhood education features pictures of SCEA members Teresa Lyons and Christine Wright working with our students. This year marks an important anniversary in our organization's history. 50 years ago, SCEA became one of the charter NEA locals in the state of Missouri. Among the founding members of Missouri NEA were St. Charles teachers Vito Meniasi, Doris Cagle, and Betty Graham. What our founding members wanted was simply something better. Missouri NEA's Declaration of Independence says it best. We are sustained on this journey by our collective belief that something better is possible in Missouri. Something better for teachers, something better for parents, and most important, something better for students. SCEA and Missouri NEA still stand by this belief. We cherish our relationship with the St. Charles School District and hope it continues to stay strong. Thank you.
Wow, Brandon, those are some names from the past that I taught with. I'm still standing. Okay, thank you all. Item 3.06, do I have a motion to amend or adopt the agenda?
I move we adopt the agenda as presented.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda has been adopted. Item 4.01, approval of the consent agenda. For efficiency, the school board utilizes a consent agenda. Items placed on the consent agenda are routine in nature or are among the many decisions that the board has already determined are in the domain of the administration. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Item 6.01 is our old business. This is that policy change, the kind we like. It's simply a name change for our, the director. Is there any discussion on that second reading? Do I have a motion to approve the policy change?
I move to approve policy ADF as presented.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Policy is changed or accepted. Item 7.01, transportation program. This is,
Your time's over.
Time's up, Cindy.
I think that's me. Cut me off.
Yep, you're on.
Yep, do it again. No,
Press
Now you're off, not,
hit it
no,
again.
little red light. Hit it one more time.
Oh, if it's red, it's on.
You thought,
That's a problem for a transportation person.
Yes, most
Red does not
definitely,
mean go.
most
can you change
definitely.
that?
Because it actually, the picture here looks like the inside of a school bus from the cameras.
it should be a green color.
No, it's red. Yes, it should be green. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, well, good evening, Dr. Towers and ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for letting us be here to tell you about the great year we're having in transportation. We thought it was going to be a little rough, but we're pleased with all the highlights we have here. Hiring new drivers for us this year was much harder because the curriculum, basically, that they have to go through and the testing they have to go to is more rigorous than it has ever been. The federal government's involved. So it takes us longer to get a driver licensed. So we've gotten 6. Our trainer has successfully trained 6 so far. We were one of the first ones down at the state, so we're really proud of that. We've had some great recruitment. Thanks to everybody up here for listening to the concerns with hiring drivers and making that possible. We're not completely efficient in our office yet, but we're working on it. And again, I thank Dean, the SCTEA, and meeting with Jeremy and speaking with everybody to help us improve our office. That will be a huge improvement for us. So we just keep moving on, move forward. Buses don't back up. So right now, last we looked, we had 5,100 students enrolled, about 73% ride the buses. To, 2,800 to the high schools, middle school, intermediate, 3,700 to the elementaries. Right now, we're at 60 employees, 51 buses, 180 routes, and we are in the process of adding several more routes. So in a couple weeks, we'll probably be at about 184 or 185 routes, much less the weekends, overnight trips that we've got running. There you go. The dedication, professionalism, and work ethic of our drivers it can't be compared to any other school district. We're very proud of that. Yeah, as it says, it can't be overstated. Ridership, how it dropped, and that's why we're adding routes back. We're getting some of our regular routes back, so the buses aren't as crowded. Early childhood, picking up another bus there, and some other special needs. We're really adding our ridership back up again. Okay, here's the information about our drivers. Most of them have been driving about 14 years. Our monitors have been working here about 6 years. 36% of them have a college degree, 23 are retired from a previous career. 11 served in the military, 22 are people of color, 40% are female. So we've got a very diverse group of drivers. And right now, it is the best group we've ever had. Really proud of that we can attract the best. And even though we're not really in the CSIP goals, we try very hard to do our very best to represent the district. With the school bus driver shortage that we were very aware of, I don't even know, it says 32%, and we've researched this, but 60% of school districts are still reporting severe shortage. Again, we're very fortunate to not be one of those. I've talked to some school districts, and they're still doing double backs on routes. Take home half the kids, go back and pick them up, take them home. So we're not doing any of those things. We didn't change our walking distance, or we did condense routes. That was the extent of what we had to do. Yeah, we did. Last year, we lost a number of people to retirement, just resigning, looking for greener grass. Most of them we got back. We have 11 new hires, 5 newbies that had to be trained. And yeah, we're very proud. Thank you, Dr. Seifert, Dr. Lewis, Mr. Shields, because without you guys listening to us, it could be a very different scenario.
It took all of us.
It was,
I mean, and I don't
it
wanna
was.
elongate this presentation, but where we are now from where we were in June, it hit us hard. And we didn't get hit like everybody else. Then we got hit, I mean, and the SCEA group, leadership, Stan, your group, our group, all coming together as one team and figuring that out it's amazing where we're at today, guys.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is.
There's another slide that I want to jump to, but if I don't stay in order,
I just want to throw that out there.
the clicker back here might.
We're so pleased with what you guys are doing.
And the major component to how we could do it, how we have stayed staffed now, our starting salary, our average salary is very competitive, especially in St. Charles County. All the benefits that you offer to these employees is very sought after. Our seniority, diversity, and unity is, like I said, we've got a great group of drivers right now. We couldn't ask for anything better. It is, as it said there, the place to drive. It's the place to be, St. Charles.
And just so you know, state funding helped us out this summer
Yes.
too. And we were able to come together as a team to say, okay, where does that look, so we're competitive, because this market is very volatile, so
Yes.
that's a big piece of it, so.
Yeah. Our attendance right now with our staff, great attendance, very low incident with either discipline, conflict. That's all very low right now. We have staff that really is working with the students on the buses. Family atmosphere, most definitely. Pride of performance, definitely. Excellence is not a function, it's our culture. So, I really want you to know that all the drivers are very happy to be here. Very high standards for hiring our drivers. Who's a fit is very important. We've had success with our law enforcement. Thank you, Dean. We've had numerous, and firefighters. A great group to have. Go ahead, Stan, you know what I want to get to. There we go. The peer mentoring. We've had a number of districts do that, but especially one here in St. Charles that has come to visit us and spent days with us to pattern their operation after St. Charles. And we love that, and our drivers love when they see these people in the building. And we just appreciate what they say to our drivers, what they say to us about the department that we have. We've had a number of people walk in and they're just surprised by the appearance of the department. You know, most bus garages are a shed or a shack. And the facilities that we've been given, the highway patrol loves it. They ask to borrow our garages often to train their state patrol on inspections. Let's see. Oh, speaking of which, we've had 6 years of consecutive fleet excellence. This year in November, State Patrol pulls on the lot often. That's not too surprising, but when you see 4, 5, 6 trucks pull on with trailers, you're getting a spot inspection.
You know it's on.
Yes, game on. We have 51 buses, and usually they'll pull 10 or 15. This time they did 31 buses, and probably did it in record time, and we got 100%. So we're real pleased with that. That's a lot for our
It's a
mechanics.
big deal to get 100.
It's a very big deal, and it's a sign that our drivers are really paying attention to their buses. You know, typically it's something little, a light out or something that they catch us for. 100%. So mechanic, lot attendant, and the drivers, it wouldn't have been 100% without everybody on board, taking pride. Yes, that's true. This is why we plan. This is why we work so hard. This is why we recruit so carefully and demand so much from our office staff, driving staff, monitoring staff, the garage. We try very hard just to hire the best to transport our students. There you go. Thank you. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Was that short and sweet enough?
It was short and bittersweet.
Yes.
Yes. You know, when people come to look at our district and try to model
Yes.
what we're doing, and the drivers and all of you feel that pride.
Yes.
And we feel that pride, knowing that we have that kind of standard. But some things are going to be difficult for anyone to mimic, and that is that family pride and what you have at that transportation department.
Right.
And I like
Yeah.
to go when I go over
Yeah.
there once in a while to
Yeah.
visit.
We're getting younger people, which is nice too. Most everybody's retired from something else, but getting the younger group in there, the students really like that.
Yeah. And having that competitive wage and some of the other things have helped attract that.
Yes,
That's-
yes, definitely. So
We're
I'm glad
proud of our transportation department.
Thank you, thank you.
Jeremy, did you want to add anything? Just because I know you've taken that over too with them and.
Yeah, I just certainly echo Cynthia's comments here, but I wanted to give a shout out to Cynthia and Stan in particular because they've been operating with one less office member for an entire semester.
Well, more than that, there's no dispatcher either, so.
Well, yeah.
But we're not gonna count that.
Yeah. Well, we have that as well. So, and, you know, when you go over and you visit transportation on a daily, if you were to go over there on a daily basis, or just a day, you would see how, by appearances at times in the office, it can get very chaotic when you're transporting thousands of students in a short time period. And I think as educators, we sometimes don't know that, we don't think about that, we don't see it, we don't hear about it. And so when you go over there and visit, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of information coming in within seconds of each other. And they handle it with grace, they handle it with such patience. Even while at times, I was guilty of this probably as a building administrator, we're calling and we're making, hey, we need this and we need this. And you see the other side when you go over there and visit. So kudos to you both. You've been short-staffed and the operations have been highly successful in your department. And that's a tremendous credit to you and your leadership, so thank you.
Thank you.
And I know you don't want me to say anything.
I'm going to Disney World.
But we have to say this because I haven't said it in our admin meetings yet because she won't let me. But Cindy is retiring, and we just want to thank her for everything. And it's good, for me, it's gonna be hard. It's just gonna be different, I can tell you that much, because I grew up with you here, and I know you as our transportation director, so that's gonna be hard for me. But I just want to thank, on behalf, I don't usually speak for the board, but on behalf of everybody here, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And we'll have more conversations, and I'm sure you're not very happy with me right now, but I need to make sure,
Does it show?
thank you for everything. Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to turn this,
There you go. Do I have a motion to approve the transportation program review as presented?
I'll move to approve the transportation program review as presented.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The transportation program successfully passes. Item 8.01 is our district financial report, something else we look forward to.
All right. Well, it's not going to be delivered as gracefully as Cynthia just did, but we're still going to do it, right? So a few items of note. One of the bigger ones is, and it's not on there, but just to let you know, the ASBR has been submitted, and the state is still going over it. But it does, by all appearances, look like we will sit at about the 24.5% mark for that 21-22 fiscal year. So that's a good thing. That's a celebration. Certainly, it's a celebration, and puts us in good footing as we began this school year. A few items to note, if we were to go down a slide or two, Chris, when we go to the month end of December 22, you'll notice on there what our revenues were for that month, which is a crucial month for us. We took in about $22.8 million in revenue. That's local revenue, which is important because we know that's where we discussed previously, we get most of our local tax dollars from that revenue. So that's a highlight. That is about $4 million short than what we got in December of last year. That's not anything to be alarmed about. That's just how the money has been distributed in December. So we should see an uptick of that in January. Our spending for the first 6 months, if we go down to year end, the next one, Chris, the next one down, please. You'll see our spending is about $44 million by the end of December. That's what we've spent so far. Previous year was about $41 million at this same time. We know that number will go up. That's salary increases, insurance increases, things of that sort. We do have some operational expenses that have increased. The great news is revenue has also increased. So we are basically, we're very close to being in line to where we were last year. So at the same time. You'll notice on there a projected end of fund balance of 22.3. What you will see is that 9.8 million, that was with the total expenditures that we've had this year. But what you will see moving forward, starting in January, is that Fund 1, Fund 2 expenditures will be that projected expenditure that we put in the budget. That projected expenditure was $85,679,000 some odd dollars. So you will start to see, okay, where does the money sit in January revenue-wise versus that projected expenditure of that $85.6 million, and that's where we will begin to start getting that fund balance as we get closer to that June 30th end of the fiscal year. So those are important items to note. A few other things just very quickly, bond projects, just to update the board on what we are anticipating this summer. We have some big projects that are going out. Knoll being one of the largest ones that we have. That is fantastic. It's wonderful. That will be a year's worth of construction, hoping to start that in May. But we also know the reality of what we're facing, similar to what we faced last summer with the construction shortage worker. So I think it's important for us to be cognizant of that and know that we have to have some healthy responses throughout the summer to make sure our construction projects are going as we need them to go. So I wanted to at least give you that. Meeting with our architects, they share the same concerns. They know that market extremely well, and they share the same concern.
So it's important everybody know it's gonna be, especially for Jeremy, myself, other people who are involved with our construction projects, it's gonna be a not-so-fun year, summer again. But we'll get it done.
Nail biting.
We're still gonna have fun.
Oh,
Jeremy, don't say we're gonna have fun.
Oh, we're gonna have blast.
is this a nail biter?
You know, based on last summer's experience, knowing the supply chain shortages and the worker shortages that the contractors were facing, not their fault, I mean, it's just the market, we were a little concerned at times. And I anticipate that happening again this summer, but I know the architects and the contractors are going to do everything they possibly can to ensure that schools are ready to go in August. I'm confident that will happen, but it's certainly not going to be with a lot of equity built into it. So we have Blackhurst. If you guys drive by there, you'll see at Blackhurst a lot of site work going on and to ensure that the footings the soil is stable before the footings actually go in. So they've been working on that. And then our Lincoln project, it's a big kitchen project that will happen there. We're pushing that that bid out to April. And the biggest reason is that's a very difficult building, and a lot of the designs that they have went through have hit some roadblocks. So they're giving it one more look before we go out to bid, just to ensure the practicality of the project, that it's going to be feasible throughout with not a lot of change orders and such. So hopefully that sums up everything we've got so far with the financial.
Riveting.
Riveting. I got it.
You know how much I love numbers. And our number guy isn't here.
Exactly.
Are there any questions for Jeremy? Do I have a motion, sorry, do I have a motion to approve the district financial report?
I move to approve the district financial report.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That passes. Item 9.01, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn, and you can second it.
I'll second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Please note the clock. Thank you all
this is a
for
record.
staying for the whole meeting.